Hi everyone, in this video we are going to look at multicams. I got two separate bits of footage, okay, two different shots filmed at the same time on different cameras. I'm going to show you how to stick them together so that we can play through the timeline and just switch between whatever camera we want. It's all synced together nicely. It's very exciting. Let's get going. Alright, first up I got a new project. Let's import some stuff. It's in our exercise files. It's under Donut Dynamite. Bring in everything from there. Okay, and you need to identify our multicam. We've got lots of B-roll and other things, but at the moment, I just want these two, interview sync A and B cam. Okay, so these are my different shots. Let's open them up. So in the source monitor, so I got this one, it's close up, and I got this medium shot. Okay, and they are recorded at the same time on different cameras. Okay, so what you need to do is, we're just gonna do two, you can have a lot more. What we need to do is check out which has the best audio.
I'm Madame Donuts. And I'm Madame Donuts.
Okay, in our case, these whoever shot this footage has made the audio good on both tracks. Often one will be good because we'll be using a good camera will be hooked up with really good audio, and the other one will just be recording with the default built-in camera audio, and it will be horrible. So for this thing to work though, you need both bits of audio. Okay, so even the horrible stuff. So if you're recording this yourself, record one with your great mic, that's fine. And the other one, just have the default microphone on your camera recording, just so you've got something, because that's what Premiere Pro uses to stitch it together. In this case, they're both the same, both equal, so I don't need to worry. To make a multicam, you select both of them. So I'm clicking the first one, holding Shift, click the second one, right click it and say, create multi-camera source sequence. So the naming, it's going to use the video clip name and going to add the word multicam to the end. You might just call it whatever you want, and by coding custom. Down here, we're going to use the audio tracks from both clips to sync them. Okay, and we're going to use the audio from the good track, okay, which is audio track 1. Anything else? Enumerate cameras just means, I think that's the default. It's just going to assign like camera 1, camera 2 to whatever you've got. If you've got names already on the clip names, like I've got A cam and B cam, yours might be, your Sony A7S or something else. You might want to know which camera it is, and you can say actually just use the clip names. The one thing I like to turn off, I'll leave it on for the moment because I'll show you what it does. It's going to move these things into its own separate bin. I don't like it, but let's click OK, see what happens. Can you see what's happened is I've ended up with this multicam. It's this strange looking icon here. It's moved those two files just into this little folder here. I'm not sure why that's useful. It's being processed. Okay, you can either untick it or do what I do and just drag it out afterwards. I find I need to kind of rename mine now, my multicam. So I'm going to call mine interview. I'm just going to call it multicam. I don't know. I always find the naming comes out a bit weird. I need to see it in my program window and then go, all right, that feels a bit right. So you don't kind of use this one straight off. It's kind of like a separate clip. You need to add it to a sequence. Okay, so I'm going to go to new sequence. I can't see it. Let's open this up. Yep. Okay, and there. I also need to go to Window, Workspace, Save Changes to Workspace. Thank you very much. So I've created a sequence based on that multicam. I'm not going to call it on multicam because I'm going to get confused. This is just my regular old sequence with the multicam dumped on it. It's green because it's different. Now we need to be able to see the multicam option. So it's hidden, mine's on here already, yours won't be. Hit this little plus button in the program monitor and you're looking for this thing, okay? Toggle multicam view. So it's kind of like a group of squares. Just click, hold, drag it, and drag it down there. Click OK. Let's turn it on. Make sure your clip is selected. And what we need to do is, with it selected, if we just change it, it changes the whole clip to show just the camera A or camera B. What we need to do is make an edit. So I'm going to zoom in down on my timeline. Okay, and I'm probably going to use, I like to use my audio track. So that's Option plus or Alt plus on a PC to make the, the audio track bigger. I'm going to find my edit point.
Donut Dynamite with my husband.
So there, in there, I'm going to switch from camera A to camera B to kind of like hide the pause. Okay, so about there, I'm going to make my cut. So I'm going to use my Command-Shift-K, or you could use your razor tool. If you're on a PC, remember it's Control-Shift-K. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, do I want this one? Okay, at the moment we're on camera B. If I go to this one, I might go to camera A. And that's how you kind of toggle between. You need an edit point.
Donut Dynamite with my husband.
How to find another point.
People.
As I say, we switch between here to hide this big Okay, so I'm going to do my cut again. Command-Shift-K, Control-Shift-K. And about there, I want to trim this out. So I'm just going to use my Q key. Using some multi-shortcuts here. Kind of trim it up and move it along. And what I want to do in this one, it's Sync A. You can see this one here. I want to switch it back to this. There we go.
And people keep coming in.
And that's how to use multicam. You can use a few shortcuts. Like, I don't know, when I first learned it, there's a lot of tutorials online where it says you can play
keep making donuts.
and use your shortcuts 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Or you can click on these 1 and 2 while it's playing. So you can do it while it's playing. I don't know. I've never been able to edit that fast. If I was that fast, just play it through ones and edit it as I go. That would be cool, but I find it undoable. So I need to make my cuts first and then be a little bit more deliberate. We can use those shortcuts though. So I'm going to undo all my crazy shortcuts. We can get to a point here and decide actually, instead of doing like the full on cut, I can just get to this point and hit 1 and it will switch it over. Nope, you have to put a cut in first because it just switched the whole thing. So Command-Shift-K and I am going to say 2. So you can use the shortcut 1 and 2. But you make your cut first. I'm cutting the audio as well. You don't have to. You can unlink them. But use that 1 and 2 to toggle between them. Now we're using something with like one strong audio track. You might be doing an interview between 2 people and they have 2 good audio tracks. Okay, and at the moment what it's doing is it's keeping track 1 all the way through because that's the one I said. You can go into here, okay, under your program monitor. See this wrench? There's quite a few things in here for multicam. Okay, it's only highlighted if you're inside or have our multicam selected or in multicam mode. I think the button operated. You can say here, see the camera follows audio. Okay, that means it'll jump between the 2 when you make your edits from camera 1 and camera 2. My audio is the same on both tracks, so it's not going to change anything. Not the plus button, it's in the wrench, so I'm going to turn mine off. You can also, if you've got a few cameras and you need to know what the names of them are, you can go through, go to the wrench, and you can actually edit your cameras, and you can decide which one is first. Let's say that you've got, they're not A, B, because that makes sense to be in that order, but let's say they just got different camera names, or different people, names of people. You can reorder them by dragging them around. It means that, so A's on top of B. Let's do it the other way around. Okay, so now B's on top of A. You can turn cameras off if you don't need them. Not sure why you'd include it in your multicam, but there's something you want to turn off, you can. Let's click OK. Now, if you've made an adjustment and you want to change it, you just go back. Let's say that I don't want this to be this now. You just click on it and say this one. Or use that 1, 2 shortcut to toggle between them. Or, I don't know why, but there's about a zillion ways of changing it. You can go into where it says multicam and say I want it to be actually camera 2. Okay, and switch in between that way. Now let's look at diving into multicam. Because you'll see here, we've gone ahead and started our edits, but we haven't done any of our color correction. Okay, so let's say that I want to do that now. I can do it individually to the separate clips and copy and paste them to all the separate bits I've changed. It's probably nicer to actually just dive inside of the multicam. Plus it's interesting to see how it's constructed. So that's the sequence that I'm working on over here. What I want to do is this multicam, which I'm kind of using just as a big video that somehow magically I can cut between different shots. What I can do is I can right click it and say open on timeline. So I can actually open this up separately. So I'm inside my multicam now and we can kind of see it's just like overlaid them on top of each other. Okay, the audio's, that's how they matched up the audio and it's muted one of the tracks. If you decide that's not what you want track 2, just open it in and turn them and switch them around. Okay, what I want to do is actually I want to color correct these 2. Okay, I want to try and, I don't know, make them, they're shot on different cameras, they look different. So what I want to do is kind of use my, remember match shot from earlier on? Way back, eons ago in this course. What I want to do is be able to see both of them, so I'm going to twirl them back. Okay, so I can see one side and the other. I'll put them back when I'm finished, but I want to be able to do is see this side and that side, because you can see they're just very different. Let's say fix one of them. I'm going to work on Bcam. Okay, so Bcam's here. I'm going to turn off the multicam view. It's confusing me. Okay, so I've got this one. I'm working on that one. I'm going to just do some basic correction. I'm going to do auto. Don't tell anyone. Okay, and I am going to say that I like it. I worked on it. I like it. I want to match it with this one. Remember our little match shot? Okay, so I'm going to be able to see this one. I'm going to go to my Lumetri color. I'm going to go to my color wheels and match. I'm going to say comparison view, please. And on this side, I want that. And I want this side to match it. So we're going to go apply match. Well, for this to work, actually, you need this selected. You need that selected. And on this side, I get confused with this. Okay, so is that the way? No, it's backwards. Let's click apply match. Nope, other way around, Dan. Come on. So on this side is the one I want to fix. Okay, and on this side is the one that I want to steal from. Okay, so I've got the one that needs to be fixed, selected. Okay, and it's on this side here. I'm going to say apply match, and it's going to match this side. You can see it's pretty good. Like, it's done a pretty nice match. Let's turn it on and off. Nice. Comparison view. I love it, and I love this match thing. But in all honesty, I do get a little bit confused about, like, oh, which one should this one be? Which one should be on which side? I don't know. I've used it loads, and every time I have to kind of, I don't know. I guess I want to mention it because if you're finding it troublesome as well, it's not you. It's us, me and you. So I've edited it in this multicam. I just need to put it back to the way I found it. Okay, so both of these got their edits on it. And because this multicam, I'm going to close it down now, is being used in the interview, all these separate little cuts have been adjusted as well. And it's interesting to see how multicams put together. It feels like this Huju, but when you go into it, you're like, oh, just overlaid it and lined up the audio. And there's some magical trick for jumping between the two different track names. Another thing that might be useful, I don't really use it, but you can right click this. And we saw there was some multicam stuff. There's one in here that says flatten. Okay, I can flatten this thing. And the difference is at the moment, it's this multicam track, right? Which I can then click on, open multicam, switch it from camera A to B. If you want to turn all that off, for whatever reason, you can actually just go to flatten. It's not really destroying it, but what it's doing, have them all selected, undo that, have them all selected and then flatten them. Multicam, flatten. It's not very destructive. All it's doing is it's ignoring that multicam now, okay, that whole thing we made. It's now going directly to this. So that, it's just a regular edit that I've done manually. Okay, it's just got this lumped into there, that lumped into there. I can't now go in and go to multicam, turn off comparison view, multicam. There is no multiple cameras now. So you turn that functionality off, but at least now these are just regular old clips and there must be a reason for it. Hey, this is the advanced class. There's somebody out there going, phew, awesome, now I can turn multicam off. All right, so that is multicam. I want you to play around with this project, see if you can switch between them, get used to diving inside the multicam, switching to the different cameras, and think of your next project where you've got multiple cameras and hopefully make it a little bit easier to both sync them and switch between cameras. And we've only done, 2 cameras? Imagine if you have 4 or 10, that would be exciting. All right, on to the next video.